People sometimes ask me if I became the Ron Van Dam Show announcer because I love what Ron does and I love his comedy. Well, no. It's because Ron broke me out of a Tijuana prison back in '82 and smuggled me across the border in a suitcase in the trunk of a Yugo. And I still owe him for that. Muchas gracias, mi amigo. You're listening to the Ron Van Dam Show on New England Broadcasting.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Thank you very much.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. It is the Ron Van Dam Show. I'm the one in the middle. I'll be entertaining you for the next half hour at least. This could go on forever. So make yourself comfortable. Just keep your clothes on. God. Hey, you in the back. Keep your clothes on. By the way, just for your information, I don't validate parking, nor do I validate any phase or purpose in your life. A lot of people, when they feel a connection to somebody else, they hold hands and sing Kumbaya. I don't know what kumbaya is. Sounds like a really bad kind of cheese. But I'm not holding your hand in a circle. I'm not doing it. No way. All right. Okay, that's enough. That'll be quite enough. Thank you. Welcome to the program. How are you? Good to be with you. I don't know what day of the week this is because it doesn't really matter anymore. Oh, it doesn't. It really doesn't. When I was younger, it mattered what day it was. I had things to do every day that were specific to that particular day. Very important things, too. It wasn't just getting my hair cut or anything. These were appointments that I had. I actually was important enough to have appointments. People expected me to be somewhere, and I had to be there. That was something. I was important. It was important that I show up. It was important that I go. Now, as I've gotten older, it doesn't make any difference anymore because nothing's important. It really isn't. I don't have to be anywhere. And if I were to be somewhere, it's not that important. It's incredible. Now, I know that today is Thursday. What? Oh, it's Wednesday. Okay. I know that today is Wednesday, but there's nothing that I have to do today that makes a difference to anybody or to anything. Things will go on without me being there, wherever it is I'm supposed to be. Yeah, I do this radio show every weekday, but I do it every weekday. What the hell's the difference? Doesn't matter what weekday this is. By the way, this day of the week has been dubbed by the National Day of the Week Association. This is Hump Day. This is either the day that's in the middle of the week so you're getting over the hump, or it's the you-know-what, and that's what you do tonight. You better go hump. Yeah, I don't know which it is, so I do both. Wednesday, come on. It's the middle of the week. I'm surrounded by weekdays. I had Monday and Tuesday there, and now I got to go through Thursday and Friday. I'm smack in the middle of this sucker. And it's a weird week, too. It's the week between Christmas and New Year's. It doesn't really even exist on the calendar because this is the week that it's not important where you are because there's nothing to do and nowhere to go. So anyway, my woman spouse, that's what I call her. She said to me a couple of days ago, Ron, you got to do something about the hair coming out of your ears. And that's never been said to me before. I know from prior experience that I do have some hair growing out of my ears, but this is a sign that I'm getting old. I've never had this situation before where somebody actually said to me, there's hair growing out of your ears. I don't understand this whole thing. I don't understand. I'm losing the hair on my head, but I have a full ear of hair growing out of my lobe, and to the point where I now have to trim that hair. I have to. Where else is there hair and I don't know about it? Well, Ron, have you checked your nostrils? Excuse me? Yes, the hair in your nose is growing like you're a healthy 20-year-old. So let me understand something. I've got hair growing all over my body except for on my head where I really need it. Yes, that's right. So getting older is not the fact that you're not still growing hair. It's the fact that you're getting things happening that you don't want them where they're happening. That's right. That's right. Getting older is your body saying to you, I'm going to mess with you now and have things happen that you don't really want. Oh, no. I have this little implement. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I just find it so incredibly funny. This little implement, it's a nose and ear hair trimmer. It's cute. It's adorable. It's tiny. It has a little battery in it. It looks like a tiny little sexual vibrator, but it's not. It does vibrate. There's little things going on in there, and they clip off. You shove it in your nose, and they clip off your nose hairs, and you shove it in your ear. It's the small Oracle hair trimmer, I think is what it's called. And it fits in the places that you really shouldn't be. Here's the funny part of this little tiny hair trimmer for the nose and the ear. At the tip of the implement is a small light. There's a little bulb in it, and it lights up. Why? I cannot see the inside of my ear, nor can I see the inside of my nose, because my eyes have been placed on my body at a location that I can't see this stuff going on. Why do I need to light up the inside of my ear? Well, Ron, that's for people that are using it on you so that they can see the inside of your ear. Do people trim their nose hairs and their ears in complete and utter darkness? I can't trim my ear hair until the sun goes down. I just can't. And no lights in the room, please, while I do this. It doesn't make any sense. Now I'm wondering, is there hair growing out of places on my body that I can't see at all? I have not seen my butt in, I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think I ever took a second mirror and held it up to my rear end and said, well, that's what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like, much less the crevice area. I don't know if there's hair coming out of there or not. I don't know what the hell's going on in there, to be honest with you. And the reason that I know that I don't know what the hell's going on there is because I have a very expensive procedure done every 5 to 10 years where they have to take cameras and tubes and shove it up that area in order to find out what the hell's going on in there. It's disconcerting to me that other people have seen this area and have probed it, and I don't even know what it looks like, to be honest with you. I've seen other people's rear ends. Not pretty. Not pretty. Not pretty. If I saw somebody else's rear end, it was totally by mistake. I thought it was something else. I don't like that whole area back there. It just there's no reason to be there. There's no reason to go there. I just, even when I shower that area, it's like, I don't know let's see what's going on. I don't know. I have no idea. There's things happening on my body when I get older, and I don't know what they are. All of a sudden, I've got these little things, these skin things, and I go to a dermatologist. This is also how you know when you're getting older. All of a sudden, you've got a dermatologist. What? I've never had one before. Now you have one. And you see this person once a year. You take all your clothes off and put that little Johnny on. Sorry if your name is Johnny. I don't know why they named this after you. You put it on backwards. I don't know. I've never seen a Johnny that you put on forwards. You put it on backwards like it's a gigantic bib. And the dermatologist walks into the room, usually with an assistant, and they check your entire body for little lumps and little strange skin things, and hopefully you don't have any. And if you do, they have to do something about it. And I don't know. I've got these things popping up, all of that it didn't have when I was younger. Now they're just for no reason appearing. This is how you know. This is how you know. This is how you know if you're getting older. On a tree, you cut the tree, and you can count the number of rings and know how old the tree is. There's nothing like that on a person. Okay, my guest joins me. This is a very interesting guest. It's a little bit of an extended interview here. This gentleman has a very successful company and tried to get a patent, but it was breached. And apparently you can't do much about it. The patent system in this country is apparently not working out too well. My guest will tell you what happened to him. You might recognize his business. You'll find this fascinating. But first, this short commercial word.
Do you know that there is one item that can not only increase your home's beauty, but its value? That would be placemats. Hello, I'm George Karonapikopoulos, owner of George K's Wholesale Placemat Warehouse, your one-stop for all your placemat needs. We have a placemat for every room of your house. That's right, placemats are not just for the dining room anymore. Anywhere you might make a spill, or maybe where you eat, like in front of the TV. I do it all the time like you. You want a placemat. We have fancy placemats like in bamboo or teak. That's right, teak. Nice plastic laminate ones for no stains, even blue. We can custom make you placemats in as little as 2 weeks. Come to our showroom at the intersection of Route 27 and the Holbrook Turnpike. You're going to like what you see. Your placemat is waiting for you at George K's Wholesale Placemat Warehouse.
Josh Malone joins us now. Josh is the creator of Bunch of Balloons, which many of my friends have partaken upon and have loved it. This is an incredible story because we only know the product and the success of a product, but we don't know the backstory sometimes, which apparently, Josh, you've been through a little bit of hell and back.
Oh, yeah, it's been quite the adventure, and I think I'm back, yeah.
Okay, good. Let's start with, for those that aren't familiar with Bunch of Balloons, this was an innovative party idea, and it's doing quite well. Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, I was a classic struggling inventor, and at the end of a long, long run, I solved a problem of filling and tying water balloons.
Yes, sir.
And my solution, well, it's a bunch of small tubes. You connect that to the garden hose. The other end of the tubes have a balloon around each one and a small elastic ring around the neck of the balloon. And so they all fill up simultaneously. And when they're full, you shake it and they fall off, and the little elastic ring clinches the neck of the balloon shut.
Beautiful.
And so you can do 100 water balloons in 1 minute.
Yeah. Now, how long ago was this invention taking place, and upon completion of the invention?
This was 2014. I put it together and launched it on Kickstarter.
All right, and congratulations to you. But as I said at the beginning, we're not always familiar with the process that's involved. We've watched a couple of these things on Shark Tank. These inventions and these ideas, and it always seems quite simple. You get a patent, you apply for it, you wait for it, and there you go. Congratulations. It's not like that necessarily, is it?
No, it's not, and that's what I thought too. I thought I was pretty sophisticated and educated, and if I got a patent, then I could protect my invention and build a business and live the American dream. In fact, under a 2011 Act of Congress, they created a new proceeding, a division in the patent office, and their job, in fact, they basically work for the big corporations, and they'll invalidate your patent when you try to use it.
Really?
And so this new proceeding, they've now reviewed 3,000 patents, and they've invalidated 84% of them on behalf of these giant multinational corporations.
Wow. Is this a fairly new phenomenon, or has this been going on, but people didn't talk about it?
Well, it's fairly recent. I mean, I quit my job to be an inventor in 2006, and that's when it started. The Supreme Court took up a case, and then Congress started to act. And basically, what happened is these Silicon Valley tech companies looked around and said, "Hey, we don't innovate anymore. What can we do to eliminate competition?" And they went to the government, went to the courts, and flipped our patent system upside down. And they started spreading propaganda that patents harm innovation and that inventors are patent trolls, they called us.
Wow.
And it's very effective. They said, "Hey, we made it up. Let's pull up the ladder so no one can threaten us."
Yeah, we gave it out. We can take it back. Was this done through a lobby effort? Do you think there's something shady going on here, or simply nothing simple about it, but a convincing that we need to change the system a little bit? It sounds to me like there's a little shady stuff going on with these companies that are so large that they could just pay for anything they want.
Yeah, there's a combination of factors. It's we can get away with it, and if we can get away with it, then and it's classic federal government stuff. I mean, they don't know what's going on, and the lobbyists convince them that the world looks a certain way, and then they pushed this bill through that had lots of problems, but the campaign dollars kept flowing in, and it came through, and it was worse than people imagined in 2011.
Wow. So you're talking about it to sound the alarm to those that probably aren't familiar with this system.
Absolutely, I've met too many inventors, and in my case, it's a miracle I'm here talking to you today. These guys had such a war chest and experience at just putting rights owners out of business through litigation, and for me to survive and go to Washington and shake things up at the top of the patent office in the middle of my case. And I was losing everything I worked for. And so it ended up being a publicity campaign, which wasn't really my intent, but it helped turn things around, help me get through. And most, no other inventors we don't have government relations department. And so I joined up with, when I needed help, a group called U.S. Inventor joined me, and now I'm giving back as a volunteer, and I want to help. Want to help inventors, startups, small businesses, innovators. This is super important for society. Yeah,
it's interesting because startup businesses always think that once they get the patent, they're good. That's their protection, but that apparently isn't necessarily the case at all. So why would anybody ever come up with an incredible idea and not feel that it will be stolen from them somehow? I mean, does that basically burst their balloon?
Yeah, it's a huge threat. It's caused, guys like me who quit our jobs and give up our paychecks and put our family's financial future at risk and raise capital. We're seeing that venture capitalists they know this, and so they're not investing in long-term R&D and high-risk capital. They're looking for quick returns. So app developers and social media technologies, so that the money is going out of hardcore R&D into quick exit, low-risk strategies. And inventors, that was part of the deal. Part of the dream is, we're going to crash and burn, and we're going to miss a lot of opportunities. But when we succeed, now these big guys can come along and just say, "Thank you very much. We didn't invest in it. We didn't take the risk. And here you've got this Kickstarter success. We'll just take it and put our name on it." And it's a very dangerous situation we're in, where the incentives have been
absolved,
removed.
Would you compare it to a drug company? I don't know what you call these things, pharmaceutical companies. I think that's more proper. They come up with something like Viagra, and it's on the market for a number of years, and then after a number of years, it goes generic, and anybody can make this thing, and around the world. Is it similar to that?
It's supposed to be. We don't like to align too tightly with the drug companies because they also know how to abuse the patent system. Right. But if you invent something that the world was missing and never would have come up with without your contribution, then we used to give inventors 20 years of exclusive right to it to go and basically that's the bargain. You come up with something new and you share it with the world by publishing it in the patent, and we'll give you it amounted to a property right. That basically was a title to your invention. And I mean, a drug company that comes up with a new molecule that's effective, and then that's part of the incentive why we have some pretty wonderful treatments and cures. But we don't want to stagnate that, right? The problems haven't all been solved yet either, so we have to keep the incentive for real inventions to move forward.
Yeah, Josh, had this affected the success of your business along the lines, because it's the number one in that category? I mean, has it damaged your financial situation? We got through. We spent many years where every day it was a threat of just being destroyed. I mean, these guys that stole my invention had succeeded in over 100 cases they've been involved in with over intellectual property rights, and they had never lost. So we were fortunate. We were able to compete and sell a lot of product globally. We sold I think we've sold $500 million in water balloons now with my partner, licensing company. And so we were able to pay these attorneys $100,000 every week. I mean, when I quit my job, that was my annual salary. And now we've got to just plow this money into this litigation. And eventually these guys, after that, plus the publicity I brought to the abuse at the patent office, these guys, after 4.5 years of litigation, they threw up their hands and they said, "We surrender." Cool. Oh, congrats. Congrats on that, man.
We beat them. Yeah.
Congrats.
But it's unfortunate. It had, it had little to do with the merits of my case, and it had all to do with the money and the influence, which is, that's really sad to say that that's the state of our legal system.
What's sad is that they didn't pay you back for your legal fees. I mean, I would figure that that's really something that they should do because they caused it.
We got, in this case, we got some of our legal fees, but to get legal fees, you have to be in the law. You have to be the prevailing party. Yeah. In these cases, it costs tens of millions of dollars and can take 10 years to finish. No one else has ever been a prevailing party against these guys. So they abuse it and they file these frivolous motions and they cheat and steal, and it's catch me if you can. If you can't catch them and bring them to justice through this massive litigation. So we're the ones that got through it, and it gives me a story to tell and an opportunity to warn others, and working with a nonprofit to educate lawmakers, and we do legal pro bono legal work, and we're just trying to help set right the ship. Yeah.
Can you, in your capacity, see something that really fascinates you, that you see a very clear path to success? Can you buy that company, or are you in a position to do that, or because what you're doing you can't, or whatever?
That's a great question. There's a lot of opportunities and inventors and startups that I think have very meritorious ideas for products and solutions, and for the most part, the problem is there's no collateral for those investments. In the past, a patent or a pending patent would have been security to invest in. So if the product fails, or there's they fail at business, or a variety of other things, then the investor could hold the patent as to secure the investment. And I'm not, it's hard right now in this environment. My answer is talk to your congressman, and if they'll give you a solid patent that I can rely on, then I would love to invest in your startup.
Interesting. Of course, a solid patent, you don't know how solid that is ever, do you?
Yeah, well, there was a time when it was reasonably reliable. The patent system, Edison and Westinghouse had their battles.
Oh, yeah. But now you say that that's all out the window, because anything solid can be reversed. Right
easily. Now it's the normal situation instead of the exception. Well. If your invention's valuable, they will steal it and they will litigate you into oblivion. There's no reason. It would be bad. It's their fiduciary responsibility. Yeah, like, why would they pay an inventor when they can just take it? The shareholders don't support that.
Yeah, unless they say, hey, Josh is behind it. Don't mess with him. He won.
Yeah,
I mean, because in order to take away power, to win against power, you have to have power. That's the game.
But they've said these are, most of the time, these infringers are these multi-billion and now trillion-dollar companies, and they just budget for this. They're we're going to spend $50 million a year in litigation, so we're not going to pay anyone. And with the patent office now taking their side, they can just go get the valuable patents eliminated through this patent trial and appeal board.
Well, I'm glad you're on the right side, and what you're doing here is admirable and important, because, I mean, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors, and I'm glad that you've opened the door so that people can see what's going on in there.
Thank you for taking an interest. It's so important that we have innovation.
How would someone support this entire cause? How to get more information and actually support?
You go to usinventor.org and sign the resolution. Mm-hmm. We've got a real basic statement of principles that everyone can agree with, but believe it or not, the lobbyists and the lawyers and the politicians, they don't believe in the fundamentals anymore. So usinventor.org, usinventor.org, you can learn more and sign up.
Beautiful. Josh, thank you for your time, and continued success to you in whatever you may do.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. Pleasure speaking to you.
Same.
Take care. Well, that'll do it for me today. I'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you to my guests, and thank you to you for listening. I'll be back with a brand new show tomorrow. Until then, I wish you peace.